A few months ago I made a video on how to remove reflections from your car photos 4 ways. Still a great video, and I'd highly recommend that you check it out if you haven't done already. However, since I've started to edit other people's photos who might be in harsh lighting conditions, or they might not have a polarizing filter, etc. So during that time I've come across a really powerful little trick to completely eliminate reflections that might cover an entire panel of a car, because I haven't actually seen anyone else use this particular technique before, so I thought I'd share it with everyone today. So yeah, let's roll the intro and we'll get started. So as you can see right here, I've got a car photo. Link to the guy's Instagram will be in the description, by the way. As you can see, the reflections are really bad. They're completely covering entire panels of parts of the car, so it kind of makes it practically impossible to use like the spot healing brush tool or the clone stamp tool, because there's nothing there to actually clone, if you know what I mean. So anyway, despite that, we managed, when I say we, I mean myself and my computer, we managed to go from this to this. Nice clean panels. Now I understand that this particular photo is very stylized in its edit. I know that this look might not be totally to your taste. But the great thing is with this is that you can tone it either up or down, depending on like what your style is. So anyway, without further ado, let's get into how it's done. So inside of Photoshop, I've got a photo of the car on a new layer. This technique is what I like to call complete panel replacement. So what I basically mean is that you're using, you're replacing the whole panel, but you're using the colours and the tones from the original image in that new panel replacement, so that everything matches. It doesn't look out of place, matches the lighting, matches the environment, so it should be pretty convincing. So let me just show you what I mean. What I'm basically doing is masking out this individual panel using the pen tool. I'll just do that really quick. Create a selection, and I'm going to leave it at 0. And the reason why is because it's a really easy way to add back in that softness, that feather later on, as opposed to removing it if we need to. Now create a new layer. I'm going to get the brush tool, and if you press Alt on your keyboard, you should get a little pipette on your cursor. What I'm going to do is select a colour that will make a good base colour for the panel, and we can then add colours and shades on top of that. You don't always have to colour the whole panel in, but I'm going to do that for this panel. Now in order for the panel not to look 2D, there has to be some variation in the tones, just because it's highly improbable that something in the real world would have like one consistent tone all the way across it, despite that something being a curved piece of metal. So let's fix that right now. Deselect the layer that you're working on, select the brush tool, press Alt, click on the area that has a slightly darker tone to it. This is where we're going to create a different variation. Your brush size is really important, so also pay attention to the hardness of your brush. I think right around there looks good to me. And I'm just going to paint around the edges there. So again, matching the kind of variation that's in the original image, but just without all of those nasty reflections. As you can see, because we've still got the selection, everything that I'm painting on it isn't going outside the selection, basically, isn't going outside that panel. The goal will pretty much always be to replicate the tones and the colours that are in the original image. I'm just going to do the rest of the panel while you listen to whatever royalty-free music I can find. So yeah, let's crack on with it. Okay, so I think I'm going to call that it. Obviously it's just for demonstrational purposes. We've got 2 more things to do that will really sell the idea that this is how the car looked when the photo was originally taken. So make your new panel layer a smart object. That just means that any effects we apply can be reverted, or we can alter those effects. So it's not like we've only got like one shot to get this right. Go to Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur. I'm literally just going to add the slightest amount of blur to the layer, just so those edges aren't razor sharp. Now the cherry on top is going to be to add a little bit of noise. The reason why is because it just looks way too smooth at the moment. Go to Filter, Noise and Add Noise. We want just the right amount of noise so that it sort of matches the noise in the image, if you get what I mean. After doing that to the relevant parts of the car, I then composited the image in a new setting, so here we are. Hopefully everything was clear in the video, and if you got confused about anything, just let me know in the comments below, and I'll try and get back to you as soon as I can. If you like the video, then don't forget to give it a like. It really does help me out in beating the YouTube algorithm. Like, that is the #1 way that you can help me beat the algorithm. Leave a comment and let me know what kind of videos you'd like to see on this channel, as it's a 3rd lockdown in the UK, and I'm kind of prevented from going outside at the minute, so let me know what you'd like to see in the meantime. Finally, subscribe and hit the bell icon to stay updated with all of my future uploads. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.